Are we ready for stream? Great, thank you. Dear guests, live both and online, since we also stream this event. So I'm really happy that we can serve more people than fit in our hall today. Of course, because of the corona restrictions, we are happy to stream. We did a lot of experience with that last year, so we are fully equipped now. Welcome and welcome. Welcome to our concert hall at Conservatorium Maastricht for this special opening of our new academic year. My name is Mare de Groot and I am the Dean of Performing Arts here. I would like to express a special word of welcome to our executive board, our lecturers and staff, our highly appreciated partners in this project, Pianos Mare and Steinway Sons, guests from the cultural and educational field, and in particular, the missionary Minister of Education, Culture and Science, Mrs. van Engelshoven. We are together here for one reason, which is our students, who as of today will once again be able to attend full physical education, for which we are very grateful after the difficult time that lies behind us. I am delighted to share the stage with our special guest, Mr. Zimmermann, CEO of Steinway Sons Europe. It is fantastic that with the support from our mother organization, Zuyd University of Applied Sciences, we have been able to invest in 21 brand new instruments from this excellent piano manufacturer, with the certainty of maintenance of all our grand pianos by Pianos Mare. This afternoon, you will experience the grand pianos in detail, in video, speech, and of course, in music, brought to you by our own community of students and teachers. And this morning, the fantastic news was brought to us that the theater in Heerlen, PLT, Parkstad Limburg's Theaters, will offer our piano students tickets to the concerts that are played on the Steinway pianos, grand pianos over there. So they will engage in music brought to them and to us by the best players. Some of you are first-time guests of ours, and that's why I want to take this opportunity to introduce you to the Performing Arts Academies. The Conservatorium Maastricht and the Toneelacademie Maastricht, which is the Institute of Performative Arts. Conservatorium Maastricht is in its essence international through and through. We prepare our students for careers in music beyond borders to add value in and with music. We work towards one common goal, to enable our students to develop into excellent musicians whose energy and creativity offer a valuable contribution to music and society on an international level. We challenge our students to get out of their comfort zone, spark the imagination, and develop their own individual sound. The Toneelacademie Maastricht believes in stories and storytellers. We train theater professionals who relate to the theater of today and tomorrow as a medium and as an art form with professionalism, self-criticism, entrepreneurship, and awareness of their surroundings. Both the academies lay a solid foundation for a lasting career as a performing artist by never separating art and craft. I am proud of our teachers who challenge our students to get the best out of themselves and to become the best version of themselves. Here we learn to learn from each other, and here we learn to do it ourselves together. I'm privileged and proud to be representing those two wonderful academies. Even more so now a new story begins. So I won't keep you any longer, and I'm pleased to hand over the microphone to our host, Carol Rutte, who will guide you through the entire program this afternoon. I wish you all a wonderful afternoon. I hope you enjoy and wish you a very good start of the new academic year.
Thank you, Mare, and indeed welcome everybody and everybody on the live stream as well, of course. I'm Carol, and you will see me on stage on and off to announce the wonderful speakers and musicians that will share this stage with you today. We're all looking forward to it, I imagine, so I will dive right in and begin with the first announcement of Akari Bastiaans and Joop Selis. Akari, despite her young age, she has a lot of experience. A jury from the Steinway Sons competition Belgium described her as the white raven, and she enjoys the stage as much as I know that anybody does. Her dream is to be able to play in front of a large as possible audience in concert halls all over the world. So she will be delighted to do it here for you as well. Since September 2019, she is our student of the young talent class, the Junior Conservatorium Maastricht, and she has lessons from Joop Selis. Joop Selis is a very dedicated pianist and teacher. He is serious, patient, and has a true natural way with the young talents. But above all, he's very dedicated. He's dedicated to the development of his students, but also he's very dedicated with the conservatory and the instruments. So whenever there's work on the grand piano, he's there to see it through to make sure it's okay. So welcome, Akari and Joop. beautiful Jeux d'Enfants by Georges Bizet. And now I'm delighted to welcome to the stage Luc Verburgh, President of the Executive Board of Governors of Zuyd University of Applied Sciences. Luc, the stage is all yours.
Thank you. What a beautiful, beautiful performance. I think it's good that they start at an early age, because if you look at the level that they need to achieve in order to be able to perform on an international level, it requires many, many years of practice, but also a little bit more, and that is one of the things I will talk about today. So, dear students, professors, members of staff and management of the Conservatorium Maastricht, welcome at the opening of the study year 2021-22. A very hearty welcome to our Minister of Education, Mevrouw van Engelshoven, and her members of staff from the Department of Education, Culture and Science. Additionally, I also would like to welcome the representatives from Steinway and Mare pianos to celebrate with us the start of this new academic year. For those of you I've not met before, I'm Luc Verburgh, President of Zuyd University of Applied Science, of which the Maastricht Conservatory, like many other academies, for example, Hotel Management School Maastricht, Toneelacademie, is part. At Zuyd, we are very proud of all our academies. Many of them have been awarded the qualification Top Educational Program. But today, I'm especially proud of the Conservatory Maastricht. This because of its focus on excellence, its passion for the development of its students, and also because of the steps it has taken over the last few years to improve its educational, organizational, and financial performance. Today's celebration of the start of the study year at the Conservatory, together with our investments to become an All-Steinway-School, mark our pride as well as our commitment to further grow in both ambition and performance at this wonderful institute. Besides our appreciation of the Conservatory, I would like to take the opportunity to express my appreciation of how we at Zuyd are moving towards a principle-based organization in which the development of our students is at the heart of our strategy and practice. This is illustrated in the way in which we have organized ourselves around student development, communities in academies or schools, the way in which we combine education and research, i.e. integrated, and last but not least, our view on the bindend studieadvies, which we decided to abandon altogether. I was very pleased to hear from the NVAO as part of our ITK that this was very much seen in the way in which we operate within Zuyd on all levels. Still, we should not become complacent, for we need to continue working on strengthening our internal and external communication, on increasing the flexibility of our educational programs, in Dutch, deeltijdprogramma's, and on moving towards a balanced, blended educational practice. For quality reasons, for meeting our students' expectations, to facilitate our regional labor market, and to enhance national and international cooperation. Now that I have shared my view on the Conservatory and Zuyd with you, as well as our agenda for the next few years, I would like to bring to the table two items that maybe can become part of the agenda of our minister or her successor. The items concern aspects that relate to the system of higher education, of which a Minister of Education is responsible. Firstly, I would like to invite our Minister to work towards a more consistent, future-proof, i.e. crimp-proof perspective on delivering and financing higher education. Part of this invitation is to take the region, what is a region, as a starting point for both problem definition and solution, comparable to how we try not to cater for averages in our educational programs, but look at individual needs and thus support. Secondly, and finally, I would like the Minister to deliver a view on higher education in which aspects as selection, inclusion, applied versus research focus will be outlined in such a way that we can see the clear differences between an added value of applied science versus more fundamental research and education. I think there's a little bit of room for improvement here. Dear Minister, at Zuyd we will continue working on our public regional assignment. Hopefully you or your successor will continue working on some of these systems aspects I just mentioned before. For now, I look forward to a fantastic academic year and hope we will all be smart and safe to be able to continue our educational practices mostly on campus, and we're adding value online. Thank you all very much for visiting today's celebration. Thank you.
Thank you for highlighting the passion that Zuyd has for the development of students. And I want to tell you something about the development of the next student who will perform for you, Iago Franquera. He came here 4 years ago with mainly a repertoire of Bach, Beethoven and Chopin. But since then he worked together with his teacher, Katja Wigmans, to expand and explore through the whole range and capacity of componists. Iago is a very intelligent pianist. He's very skilled, and throughout his time in Maastricht, he learns to add personality, emotion, and expression in his play. And he did this so impressively that he just graduated from his master's cum laude, and he will remain a postgraduate student with us here in Maastricht. He will present Scarbeau by Ravel, a very demanding piece. It's very for the skilled pianist who has no fear. He does this wonderfully, and I want to invite Iago to the stage to tell this story of Scarbeau, a devilish creature who will come into your house and, like a nightmare, dance around in your room. So please enjoy. Wow, I'm a bit... All right, from the nightmare that is Scarborough, beautifully brought by Iago, we move back into the dream of becoming an All-Steinway-School. So I'm very privileged to ask the CEO of Steinway Sons Europe to join me on the stage, Guido Zimmermann.
Sure. Good afternoon, everybody. Just to start with, this didn't happen when play piano. I should have. I played tennis instead, so beware of what you do with your precious daytime. I'm extremely pleased, honored, and very happy to be here today with you in wonderful Maastricht, in this incredible conservatoire, at this very special day, very special moment. The school year starts. The school year starts with physical presence, which is exceptional, which is something we all have been waiting for so long. The school year starts with an outstanding performances this afternoon, and the school year starts with beautiful new pianos. So I am presenting Steinway Sons. I'm here with my colleague Jörg Helmke, who drove from Hamburg. Hamburg is just 4 hours away by car, 4.5. But Hamburg is especially also the hometown of Steinway Sons. We are producing with great care, strive for perfection, Steinway pianos, grand pianos, upright pianos for 168 years now, like this wonderful concert grand Model D. We do this with about 500 piano makers in Hamburg, another 500 piano makers in New York. I believe those are the 1,000 best piano makers you can get. We also do this with certainly the best of material, with the best of process, with the best of care, but I think the most important ingredient is we do this with incredible passion. So the idea of my 500 colleagues and myself in Hamburg and the other 500 in New York is to not only produce instruments that play, but to produce objects with a soul that last forever. We have now been building about 600,000 instruments over the course of 168 years. And we track the records because we usually do the services with our dear partners all over the globe. And out of the 600,000 instruments, about 500,000 are still alive. So this means these objects aren't just been bought and written off and then replaced. If kept in good shape, in mint condition, which I believe they will be over here, they can last for a very long time. These objects are not only there to produce incredible sound, they are produced to touch the audience, to touch the pianist, to touch the world. This is the idea. And they are produced, as I said, with a lot of passion, with a lot of soul, with a lot of commitment from Hamburg, from Steinway Sons. I had the pleasure to meet a number of professors from the wonderful Conservatorium Maastricht during the course of the last 1.5 years, but also during the course of selecting the pianos in Hamburg. I had many discussions with members of the management, and I can definitely confirm that this passion Steinway Sons brings into the instrument on a day-to-day basis, I 100% felt and feel when speaking and experiencing what the Conservatoire of Maastricht has in mind when talking about today's and tomorrow's concept. It's more than delivering students a wonderful class. It's more than teaching how to play the piano and other wonderful instruments. It's really a commitment for the future. It is really, for me, an incredible day today, and I can't tell you how glad I am to be here celebrating with you the start of the Conservatorium of Maastricht becoming an All-Steinway-School. An All-Steinway-School to us does not only mean we have delivered 21 incredible pianos to this incredible conservatoire, which now I think makes it up to a number of 56. What a number. It really means more to us. It really means we have found a partner in mind. We have found somebody who has the highest strive for perfection, is very committed to invest into the future, is very committed to enter into a partnership with us. So we're here today, I'm here today standing with a lot of pride, a lot of happiness to be able to join this afternoon with you, because this cooperation only has just found the beginning with the deliveries of the piano. I think last Friday the last pianos were been taken over here. It's only the start into a partnership, into a cooperation. On last Saturday, for instance, I had the pleasure to meet wonderful Akari in Hamburg when we celebrated the Young Talent, Steinway Young Talent Festival. So it's only 2 days ago that I experienced this wonderful young, ultra-talented lady pianist with her parents coming from the Conservatoire of Maastricht, also underlining the passion and the commitment. So we're here to start a program, to start not only a project, but the future with you. We're here to share the passion with you. We're here to thank you very much. We're here to absolutely celebrate this new year. And I think the keys of success, as you wonderfully write the motto, it's all about a great school. You need fantastic teachers, which you have. You need a very committed management and everybody who lives this dream. But also, at the end, you need a nice instrument. So my pleasure to be here. And I wish you, the management team, the teachers, the professors, all the students, all the very best for the start to hopefully a new, long, forever lasting, normal, wonderful new school year. All the very best with the great pianos. I'm underlining the commitment from Steinway's side to walk this way with you, to be committed into developing the future with you. It's all yours. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And this process of realizing this piano plan has been so amazing due to this very good and excellent collaboration that we've had so far. And collaboration is also something that we'll be able to see in the next musician here. Michal Nyadbala is a third-year student of the jazz department. He will be joining us here soon. And as all students past year, it was a very difficult time, but that didn't stop Michal from thriving, because he has won the special prize of the Grachten Festival Jazz Competition, and he is this fall's pianist of the Metropole Young Orchestra. Apart from that, he's also continuing his own projects both here in Maastricht and in Poland, so he has been busy. Michal will present an original composition called Ela, and Ela is dedicated to a late teacher of his, somebody who changed his view on music. She taught him how to love music instead of just playing the notes, and that's something that's also very essential in his piece, Ela. He really wants to transform the emotion of the band to the audience. And in some parts of his piece, you will hear it is about sharing, talking to each other, and democracy. The piece is originally written for a trio, but especially for this event, he has added an extra layer to the sound, and we will be the first to hear it. So I want to please welcome the band to the stage with Michal Nyadbala on the piano, Giacomo Tabacco on guitar, Peter Willems on double bass, and Joey Schins on drums. Enjoy. and of course as well, for sharing your composition and transforming your emotion to you. Our next guest has been with us all day, for which we are very grateful. Please welcome the Missionary Minister of Education, Culture and Science, Ingrid van Engelshoven.
Wow, and what a beautiful music. I hope there's a lot more of you to come. Dear friends, dear live stream viewers, how well I remember my last visit to Zuyd University of Applied Sciences here in Maastricht. It was at the end of March, half an hour's walk away on the Brusselse Weg. A small group of us gathered in the staff room which had been converted to a talk show set, especially for the occasion. Students from Zuyd and Maastricht University were given an online opportunity to ask us questions about student life during the pandemic. I vividly remember that almost every question was about in-person education, about the wish for face-to-face interaction with fellow students and teachers, even if just for one day a week. At the time, infection rates were much worse, and only a very small section of society had been vaccinated. Almost all institutions of higher education were largely closed. How different is Maastricht today? To see students all around the city physically engaged in their trades and courses once again. And to join all of you here face to face, to enjoy these beautiful performances and celebrate that from now on, the Conservatory will enjoy the status of being an All-Steinway-School. What a magnificent achievement. All of this is possible again because from today the social distancing rule has been lifted in vocational and higher education. From today, over 1 million students and their teachers across the country will once again be able to meet in person. And of course, there are still some restrictions and rules to be followed. But nevertheless, after 18 long months, students can once again study and learn together through face-to-face interaction and discussion. And I'm incredibly happy that we are able to take this big step forward. And I'm deeply grateful to everyone who works and studies in higher education for their commitment and perseverance over the past 1.5 years. It cannot be said enough. The progress we've made is thanks to your efforts. And let us continue to work together and do everything we can to hold on our renewed freedom. Dear friends, it means a lot to me to stand before you today here in this beautiful conservatory. For the programs you teach here unite two precious causes that I have dedicated my heart and soul to in recent years. The power of art and culture and the importance of free international exchange. As borders closed and our world became smaller during the crisis, the importance of borderless cooperation became clearer than ever before. Clearly, the vaccines that are helping us return to normality would never have been available so quickly without international cooperation. But for me, the importance of this cooperation goes deeper still. It enriches us as human beings to come into contact with other people, with surprising ideas, and especially here, with new sounds. It reminds me of the late James William Fulbright, a US senator. Fulbright gave his name to the annual Fulbright grants, which I have the honor of awarding a few times in recent years. Every year, these grants give students, artists, and scientists from all over the world the opportunity to study and teach in the United States and vice versa. The program is active in over 150 countries, including the Netherlands. Some of you may already be familiar with it. Senator Fulbright was convinced that the cultural exchange of people and ideas was essential to stability in the world. He summed this up beautifully when he wrote, "The Fulbright program aims to bring a little more knowledge, a little more reason, and a little more compassion into the world." The truth of these words resonates to this day. International exchange helps us to see each other not as strangers or even enemies, but as fellow human beings. And in my opinion, this is precisely where the power of international cooperation and the power of art and culture meet. For with each painting, stage play, and album, and with each photograph, film, and performance, artists offer us a new perspective on what it means to be human in all its complexity. It's truly painful to see how hard the pandemic continues to hit artists and the cultural sector, and in particular, the many self-employed people who work in this sector. Throughout the pandemic, I've been doing my very best to ensure that these self-employed professionals receive their fair share of the billions made available in emergency aid. And while I'm glad that the government has provided and will continue to provide this support, I also realize that it can never take away all the pain. We have to face the facts. The pandemic might be a temporary crisis, but it has highlighted some structural problems. This means that we have to come up with structural solutions. In order to do so, we recently explored ways to boost the resilience of the cultural sector, ways to improve the position of the people who work in this sector. And of course, we also explored what is needed to make such a transition happen. The facts and figures, recommendations and plans are all in place. And now it's up to the next government to put them in action. And I sincerely hope they will rise to the challenge. After all, the power of the arts and culture sector is like the air we breathe. Our society simply cannot live without it. And that's why I'm so honored to speak here. Because every year, students from all over the world come to Maastricht to immerse themselves in music, arts, and culture. Every year, they get the chance to hone their talents here and present their work to the public. And every year, alumni from Maastricht enrich our human experience here in the Netherlands and far beyond our borders. And I fully support what Luc Verburgh said earlier this afternoon about the importance of higher education for this region, and that this means that we have to rethink the way we finance it. Dear friends, we have not put this crisis behind us yet, but on a day like this, optimism wins out. For today, all students can finally share their same spaces again. They can finally meet each other again without having to stay 1.5 meters apart. And I will do everything I can to ensure that in the near future, all of the cultural sector can do the same. For now, I wish you all a wonderful day of celebration and, of course, a very inspiring academic year. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your wonderful words and the optimism of which we conclude. I want to talk a little bit about innovation. It is not only one of the very important points that we have at the Conservatory, but it is also something that we have in common with Steinway Sons. Steinway began, as we were already told, 168 years ago, and since then they've filed more than 140 patents. And of this latest technology that they innovate, we have here the Steinway Sons stereo piano. And I want to tell you a little bit about the stereo because the next performance will be performed on the stereo. The technology allows you to make recordings on a Steinway and play them back afterwards immediately without loss of quality. The recording and playbacks are with that one-on-one. It opens up a whole new range of possibilities, artistically and technically. It can be used for live streaming, it can be used for master classes, it can be used to study, it can be used to perform a duo by yourself. It's very beautiful. I'm really excited about this. So the past week, we gave Frank Giebels, one of our jazz teachers, the opportunity to experiment with one of the stereos. And Frank is very, he's very curious also about this instrument. We gave him carte blanche, and he will perform for you his experiments of the past week. He has a very individual and unique sound, so I will be glad that you are able to witness this as well.
Been here for a while, and we are the last playing today. And for me it has been quite a special challenge playing with someone I know very well, myself. I'm going to play with the stereo, this great instrument. The stereo inspires me. It inspires me then, now, and next. Let me quickly explain. Then means my music is partly based on Leo Weiner's Piano Concertino, which was introduced to me by the late, great Hedy Schneider, who was my piano teacher back in the 80s, right at this conservatory. Parts of this piece I played before, I recorded on the stereo. Now, that means I'm going to play it live. So you're going to hear me twice, hear and see me twice, before and now. And next means, for me this is a big innovation and inspiration, the stereo piano, to the world of piano, but last but not least also for music education. All right, let's play.
What a joy. We can only be impressed by what Spirio can do. And Frank, of course. We are coming closely to an end of this program, but before we go into a nice celebration where we can raise a glass together, I want to ask Guido and Mare to come on stage for a certificate.
So this is the certificate. We're producing the best pianos possible for the best pianists and the best conservatoires possible. So, ladies and gentlemen, dear students, you're absolutely at the right place at the Conservatoire in Maastricht. Congratulations to become an All-Steinway school. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Zimmermann and Steinway Sons. Of course, we are really proud. And this was not scheduled, but I really have to mention one man who we have to thank for his effort to achieve this. And I think in this house, especially for the last year, when we say piano, we also say... I think you're up there, Peter. Thank you so much. For those who don't know, Peter is working almost his last day today before he is going to retire. And I think this is a great achievement, all amongst with all the other things you did for the school. Thank you so much, and we will really cherish this and think of you when we see this hanging on the wall, and of course practice musician or music on the Steinway pianos. So thanks a lot.
And we'll hear Peter say a few words in this last thing we will see during this event, and that is a small video about how this piano plan came together. So enjoy, and then let's meet on the second floor.
I was 17 years old. I did entrance examination here at the Conservatorium Maastricht, classical piano. I enter the room and I see this big Steinway Sons piano. A piano I only heard on records, on TV. And this piano brought me big emotion. It had power, it had sensitivity. It sounded like I never heard before. Hi, I'm Frank Giebels. I'm a jazz piano teacher at the Conservatorium Maastricht at the jazz department. Steinway pianos stand out for me in a very special way. They stand out for me because they have upper tones, they have sensitivity, they have great control. And that's the reason I always favored Steinway pianos, because they also have a very constant quality. And they put a lot of time in producing these pianos, and they have lots of experience.
Steinway is super reliable. So you need in a conservatory pianos that are very strong, that can endure hours and hours of practice. So that's one element. A second element is obviously let's say the quality of the sound, which is in the case of Steinway unique. In my experience playing the piano, such instrument has a soul, and the soul of a Steinway always reminds me of bronze. It is warm, it is noble, and it's always inspirational. So it is in fact the right choice which was made now, and which gives so many possibilities to our international students. It affects so many processes in the teaching you cannot imagine. Obviously, piano students benefit from that, but also all the other instrumentalists or vocalists work together with pianists. We have chamber music, where you can almost not think to work without piano. So it is sort of the blood that goes through the whole body of the conservatory, and it makes that everyone will benefit from this investment.
It makes a big difference for the students especially, because that's the way to learn how you have a sound. You can develop good technique, but especially also developing a personal touch on the piano, because it has a great response like no other.
Ik ben Pieter Jansen, een van de opleidingsmanagers van de klassieke afdeling van het Conservatorium van Maastricht. Tijdens een vergadering met de docentenraad kwam mij ter oren dat er grote bezorgdheid was over de staat waarin onze concertvleugels zich bevonden. We hebben een schouw laten doen en de rapportage daarvan hebben we gepresenteerd in het CVB. Ik heb niet veel argumenten nodig gehad om hen te overtuigen dat een investering hier in het Conservatorium van Maastricht een grote noodzaak was. We hebben een Europese aanbesteding uitgezet die uiteindelijk heeft geleid tot de aankoop van 21 nieuwe Steinway-vleugels. Wij als Maastricht Conservatorium vinden het heel belangrijk dat studenten en docenten op instrumenten werken die men ook aantreft op de grote concertpodia over de hele wereld. Steinway is een heel degelijk instrument wat ook heel veel mogelijkheden biedt aan degenen die daarop spelen. Daarom ben ik verheugd dat het CVB deze geweldige investering ook heeft gedaan en het Conservatorium van Maastricht hierdoor een enorme boost op artistiek niveau geeft.
I'm Luc Verburgh, the president of Zuyd University. We've waited for a long time to invest in the set of pianos here at the Conservatorium Maastricht. So this is a very special occasion, not only for the conservatory, but also for Zuyd University. Because after many, many years of not investing in the pianos, we finally have a complete set that is up to the latest standards. For a conservatory that not only wants to be a good conservatory, but wants to be great. And therefore it requires and it deserves a set of wonderful pianos. So why did we invest in Steinway pianos? We asked the teachers, we asked the professors, and we asked the management, what kind of investment do you want us to make? And they all said, we want you to buy a lot of new Steinway pianos, and we did. So one of the things that we've learned from the past is that besides buying new pianos, you also need to have a maintenance plan to make sure that the pianos will stay up to par for a longer period of time. So I've asked the management to make sure that in their annual plans and their annual budget, there is room for these maintenance plans. And from that point of view, I'm pretty sure that these beautiful pianos will stay beautiful for the many years to come.
Als je in een conservatorium lesgeeft en studeert en je hebt zo'n fantastische instrumenten ter beschikking, geeft dat natuurlijk heel veel perspectief hoe je je als kunstenaar kunt ontwikkelen. We zijn verheugd en ook trots dat we dit aan onze studenten kunnen aanbieden. Voor ons komt kwaliteit op de eerste plaats.
Mijn naam is Anastasia Goldberg, ik ben docent aan het Maastricht Conservatorium. En vandaag we zijn in de prachtige fabriek van Steinway in Hamburg. We zijn uitgenodigd hier om selectie te doen voor pianos. Het is een uniek moment voor docenten, voor studenten en voor de hele staf van Maastricht Conservatorium. Wij voor de All-Steinway-Conservatorium. Dat is best ongelooflijk, dat is niet vaak gebeurd en in Nederland nog niet. Ik wist het wel natuurlijk, dat een Steinway, daar wordt heel veel met hand gedaan, maar er is zoveel, zo mooie en zo careful mensen gaan daarmee. Dat elke stukje, elke millimeter, ja, het is ongelooflijk hoe persoonlijk is dat elke instrument.
I think it's a very good thing that a pianist at least once in his or her lifetime visits a place like this, because we are used to playing on all kinds of instruments. We come everywhere we go, we meet a new instrument. We have maybe a couple of minutes, a couple of hours maximum to get used to it, and then we play the concert on it, and then we never see the instrument again. So it's very interesting to see in the factory how this big black box is actually a very exquisite and intricate machinery. So it's a very good thing for pianists to see inside the production process what makes a grand piano, and why is a piano the way it is, and why does it sound the way it sounds. All these things, it's something that we sort of take for granted, I guess.
My name is Guido Zimmermann. I am responsible for Steinway Sons Europe, including our manufacturer over here in Hamburg. Very dear to our heart, very dear to the heart of the Conservatory of Maastricht is education. Education matters, and education is the future. We are extremely proud in entering into a wonderful relationship with the Conservatory of Maastricht, in fact a new All-Steinway-School. To become an All-Steinway-School and to be partner of this wonderful Conservatory of Maastricht is something very special. There are only few All-Steinway schools in Europe, some all over the world, but it is something extraordinary. I think it not only underlines that the strive for perfection is there at the Conservatory, it also, I think, underlines the braveness and the eagerness of the team, and also the support of everybody involved in making this All-Steinway School happen. We can't wait, as said, to start this partnership with the Conservatory of Maastricht.
At the moment we are in the selection hall of the Steinway Institute in Hamburg, where Steinway has put up a fine display of beautiful instruments for us to choose from for use in our conservatorium. We choose two types of instruments today, depending on which rooms and what they are used for mainly. So we had, from this side, we have middle length, let's say, as A types. On my left side there is 6 Model B grand pianos, of which we have just chosen the 2 which we think are the most beautiful. Well, to a certain extent, of course, it is a kind of luxury problem, because all the pianos are good. It's a Steinway. To a certain extent, then, it is a matter of personal taste.
Het is niet dat één instrument speelt die andere niet speelt. Het is gewoon, die zijn net zoals mensen. En sommigen die keren naar jou zo toe en die zijn heel sympathiek naar jou toe. En dan lukt alles opeens. En sommigen die zijn een beetje afstandig, maar niettemin ook prachtige instrumenten. Dus het is heel persoonlijk, maar ik denk wij hebben wel prachtige keuze vandaag gedaan.
I think we have chosen, especially for the B pianos, we have 2 excellent pianos. I'm sure both students and teachers will be very happy with the new edition. And we also have a very good selection of 7 new mid-range instruments, so to speak, which are also very nice instruments, all of them. So, yeah, all in all, a very productive day.
My name is Wolf Leije. I work at Pianos Mare. We are the official distributor for Steinway & Sons in Belgium and Holland. From the start, it was clear for the Conservatory that they had the ambition to make sure that every student and teacher is equipped with materials so that they can teach and learn without any frustration. I think it is often forgotten how important an instrument is. In Conservatory, the most important part is the students, of course, then the teachers, but then they also need instruments. And if the instrument does not allow them to play at the highest level, this prohibits them of using their full potential, also for a teacher. I think a conservatory, especially a conservatory like Maastricht, educates people to a very high professional level, and for anyone who wants to achieve a high professional level, it is essential to be equipped with proper professional material. I think Pianos Mare and I and the whole company and Steinway and the Conservatorium of Maastricht, we cooperated very closely for this whole project. It is really an achievement of many people combined, And therefore I'm proud for the instruments, but also for the whole cooperation. We will be maintaining those instruments for the upcoming 8 years at least, and we are very happy to do so, and very happy that we can contribute to a wonderful education of all these students. And I'm really looking forward to the upcoming years so that we can maintain this optimal situation which the Conservatory now has.
So we are here at the city center of Maastricht at the Bonnefantenstraat, and it's a super exciting day. We are awaiting the arrival of 3 trucks from Pianos Mare with 9 of our new grand pianos from Steinway Sons. And today is the day that they are going to be placed inside of the building. After the new grand pianos are placed, a lot of the other grand pianos will be moved around and find their final position in one of the rooms. After that, we're really fully good to go as an All-Steinway-School, so it's a very good day.
So the day is almost finished. We have done around 30 movements of grand pianos. We're starting to feel it, but the end is near almost.
I'm Katja Wigmans and I'm teaching piano at Conservatorium Maastricht.
I'm Iago, I'm a Spanish pianist studying in the Katja Wigmans class, a postgraduate program here in Maastricht. It's been an absolute pleasure being able to play on these instruments because I actually believe that we should be prepared to the labor market and the actual world, not only the academic environment. So when we go on a stage for auditions, for competitions, most of the venues use these instruments. So not having to adapt or just do a quick check on a stage, and it's such an advantage for us as students and for future musicians.
I think also pianists are tempted to choose for Steinway when they play a concert due to the high quality of the instrument and the sound, the action. And for students, I think music can become magic. When you hear the instrument respond, you will hear things you don't hear at home maybe, and then suddenly you think, wow, this is beautiful and I can do it. So that's also a very good chance for students to discover new elements by playing the instrument.
The facilities here at Conservatorium Maastricht has changed since I came here in 2018 a lot. I mean, we had a lot of rooms and a lot of instruments, but those were really old and the maintenance, well, yeah, having these instruments in all the rooms and having the possibility to practice on them, not only having lessons it helps us to develop, to move forward as musicians and to find new ways to express ourselves. And yeah, it's fantastic.
And now we just have to check every piano. For the new pianos, the action has been blocked for transportation so that there's no damage. And now we're making sure all these actions are deblocked, and we make a final check of all the moved instruments to make sure that every piano functions perfectly.
We hope that we can develop events and things together and really execute this wonderful partnership, which is only just starting now and which is only the beginning as per today.
Alsjeblieft, vergeet niet dat elke millimeter van dit instrument is met de handen, met de liefde gemaakt. Houd van het instrument net zoals van mens, van medemens, en alsjeblieft geniet ervan.
I take on the challenge on and off stage. We did it.
So a big thank you to Zuyd, and let's celebrate.